All right, guys and gals, I got a new watch into the channel. We're gonna do a full review on this. This is the CIGADesign X Series in black titanium with yellow gold accenting. Check it out. Alright guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. In case you are new here, my name's Dave. May the Schwartz be with you. And hey, did you know it's a great day to wear a watch? Bam! Today I am rocking my Tudor Black Bay 41. That's coming in a little, let me break my arm for you. Now CIGADesign did reach out to me and they gave me the option to review any of their watch line. I chose this one here. This is the CIGA X Series. I think it used to be called the Gorilla, or maybe it still is. Yeah, I've seen the Blue Planet design watch quite a bit from other fellow YouTubers, so I wanted to do something a little different, so I picked this one here. And I'll flip the camera around here in just a moment. We're gonna get into the full review, but just so you know, I do not have to send this watch back. I get to keep it, but as always, no strings attached. I get to give my full honest opinions and unbiased opinions on this watch for you. And yeah, good or bad, I'll give you all my thoughts. So let's get into it. Okay, so unboxing the watch was a pretty unique experience. This was a first time for me seeing a booklet styled watch box. So the last few pages do function as instructions and maintenance information. And then we have descriptive details of the watch on the first inner page. Then we see, of course, that the watch case is tucked away in this foam insert along with the included silicone strap and nylon strap. Now the specs on this watch are as follows. The case is constructed from grade 2 titanium in an exterior black DLC coating, and then we also see there have been 18 karat yellow gold electroplated accents applied. Now the total weight of the watch without the strap is 57.3 grams, and dimensions are 45.2 millimeters of case width, 48 millimeters lug to lug height, 11.5 millimeters case thickness, and 22 millimeter lug width. The watch movement is referred to as the caliber CD01, which is described as a self-developed automatic movement. So I can only assume that this is using a deconstructed movement, either from Seagull or Miyota or Seiko, that has been modified into this unique case and dial design. It does beat at 3 Hz or 21,600 vibrations per hour. It allows for hacking and hand winding. And this is a time-only movement with 25 joules, so there's no ghost date, which is nice. It has a 40-hour power reserve, and there is some nice perlage detailing that we see here on the black colored rotor. Now this particular movement is running at around plus 16 seconds per day with an amplitude of around 278, and it has 0 beat error, so that was really nice to see. The watch only has 30 meters of water resistance, so it features a push-pull crown, and there is sapphire glass on the front of the watch, but there is only mineral glass on the back of the watch. We do have superluminova applied to the hands and the bridged arms of the dial. More on that a bit later. Now getting up close on the dial with the macro lens is where we really start to see some of the beauty behind this design. The X-shaped bridges have this really nice cross-hatch or almost knurled texture with lume applied in these recessed channels. And for the most part, the edges of the movement are smooth and clean, and we can see the three-dimensional effect of how this movement is put together with these various levels of plates and gears and screws, all with varying textures from bead blasting to high polish. I'm not usually drawn to skeletonized movements, but I can understand the appeal with regard to being able to see the inner workings of the watch at any given time. I think when a skeletonized design is attempted, using the most decoration and finishing techniques is what will really set a watch apart from lower quality versions out there. One feature of this watch that I personally have not seen in other watches that I've reviewed is this suspension spring system on the corners, which CIGADesign attributes to the suspension systems of a luxury SUV, which is interesting, but Yes, there are red sport-styled springs that actually do move and allow for the entire inner case to bounce, so any shocks are being absorbed by these springs. I think that's pretty cool, and it's also probably why there's only 30 meters of water resistance, as you have to consider they need to leave room for that crown stem to free float or be able to shift up and down without breaking under pressure. The handset, though, is where I take up most of my issue with this dial. Being in high polish and also skeletonized makes the watch difficult to read at a quick glance. You really have to sometimes angle your wrist in a way that bounces the light off the hands in order to get enough contrast to read the time. And also, with a lack of hour markers, the watch requires a bit of time on wrist in order to get used to time telling with it. My preference would have been to see a handset in contrasting color, maybe a black high polish option or high polish gold. I also would have opted for solid hands, not skeletonized ones, with lume running the full length of the hands as well. Now, to be clear, there is not a complete lack of hour markers, it's just taking a bit of practice to get familiarized with it. So here's how it works. So there is, of course, an hour marker at 12 o'clock and also small markers at 3, 6, and 9. The inner corners of these recessed edges are your remaining hour markers. And if you can track from these points diagonally, you can figure out the time for both hours or minutes. But again, this takes a lot longer than if there had been individual hour and minute markers. I can summarize by saying that this particular watch places design over function, which seems to align with the overall brand name and ethos. So it does have that going for it. Now here's how the watch wears on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. The silicone strap is quite comfortable, and I personally just love this pattern on it. It has a very MC Escher vibe to it, and I'm a huge fan of MC Escher's works, so I don't know that I'd ever swap straps on this watch myself. Since the strap is made of silicone, it does attract dust and hair, so just be aware of that. I think a nice upgrade would be to see the strap made from FKM rubber going into the future. The nylon strap is thick, it's robust, so it is of course nice to see a quality strap like this included, but I still prefer the silicone for the reasons that I just mentioned. Now both straps feature quick release spring bars, so that's always very much appreciated for toolless adjustments or strap swaps. But we gotta talk about the lume next, because while this watch does have a cool lume pattern, and there is functional lume in the tips of the hour and minute hands, it's just not enough layers applied. From a full charge, the lume became very faint within about 20 to 30 minutes. Now that said, this is not a dive watch, but I think we can all agree when it comes to lume, more is better, more is more. The crown design is really cool with this industrial recessed groove pattern that feels nice to the touch. The C letter branding falls short in my eyes. I think there was an opportunity to do something really cool with the crown. Maybe a lume fill design or even just an unbranded one would have looked better in my opinion. But that's just a little thing. There are these small pops of high polished titanium along the case edges that play with lights and shadows, and this overall matte texture plays well with the pops of yellow gold. This watch is eye-catching, it's eclectic, and it's industrial. I think it's worth pointing out that this watch is not just some round watch movement that's been sandwiched between a square case. This movement is clearly built into the frame of these plates that are used for this dial and bridge system. It's really impressive to see what they've done here, but what are my overall thoughts? Well, the things I think are easy changes that should absolutely be updated are the tang buckles need to be changed to either a matching yellow gold color or a DLC black color. The stainless steel just doesn't match with anything else on the watch. The hands do need updating. I think, again, high polish black or yellow gold and a solid hand style would make for much easier time telling. More lume, of course, would be great to see. And lastly, at this price, simple sapphire glass backing is expected, I think. So price, let's get into that. Currently, this watch is on sale for $569 on the CIGADesign website, and they have a sale going on through October 31st. And by the time you're seeing this video, it's like right around the corner. But I've also included a link to purchase the watch on Amazon, where there's currently a 20% off option of that $569 price. So I don't know if that's also limited in time or if there's a longer period on that. But if I can get any additional savings coupon codes from CIGADesign, I will definitely link them down below so you can use those. That'll be in the pinned comment and the description of this video. Now, after having this watch on the wrist for a bit, I think that the stainless steel options, which are cheaper at $379 minus any discounts, you can get a really great deal for a unique watch and get really good value out of it. If your heart is just set on the titanium like mine would be, just be sure to get your heart and your wallet on the same page. Well, there you have it. So I just wanted to say thank you again. I got some change in plans again. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of some cigar content. I hope you guys out there and gals who enjoy cigars will appreciate and enjoy some of the new stuff I have planned for you. So stick around. If you are not into cigars, don't worry. I'm still gonna do some watch stuff. I'll be sprinkling a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm supposed to get some night vision stuff in. So, I'm all over the place. This is my channel, just stuff I like. So I hope you will join me for the journey. And then thank you for all the support, both new subscribers and my old subscribers from day one. You guys make this all worth it. Sorry I haven't been uploading as regularly as I used to, but I do have plans to change that and kind of get back on track. So till then, I look forward to seeing you all at the next one. As always, may the Schwartz be with you. Take care.